What's up, everyone? It's your boy Jermaine, back with another video. Back with another in real life video. Alright, let's go. There's something really gross over there. So anyway, I thought I would talk about, make a video talking about the city. San Francisco, that is. And I thought I would do like a 30-minute in real life video. We can just talk about the city freestyle. We can talk about the past year, because I think the past year is a lot to take in. And I'll just talk about some changes. There's a lot of changes. A lot of changes that is going on. And I think this will make a good video. So anyway, let's just get right into this one. So San Francisco. Now, about last year this time, things were a lot different. What I mean by things were a lot different, it was more people in the city. There was more activities and things going on in the city, right? And now things have kind of so now things have kind of slowed down a lot. Sorry, I kind of don't want to talk too much when I'm around people, because I just sound like I'm talking to myself, you know? And I'm talking really loud because of the skateboard and it's kind of windy. Yes. We'll go over here. Looks like they got something going on. Yeah, looks like they got like just closed off for some reason. It's like some research boat over there. A couple days ago. Well, that's cool, because we can just go like over here on this side and get away. Find a quiet, chill spot to sit down. I like to come out here because this is actually one place in the city where I can like go and like get away from people. If I go like to a park and sit down and try to make a video, it's like I keep getting distractions, or I'll get a jogger come like right up to me, basically touching me, you know, as I'm like making a video, you know what I mean, in a random park. So if I come here, it's like, it's different because people don't really jog here, you know, people don't really walk their dogs here. But when you go to a regular park where people jog and walk their dogs, they go wherever their dog goes. So if their dog goes, you know, over here by these people sitting on a blanket, well, that's where they're gonna go, you know. That's just how it is, you know. It's dog culture. Folks with dogs are funny. Folks with dogs are really funny. I need to find a spot to sit down. There's a hell of people fishing over there. I kind of want to go on the other side, but there's like that car parked there and they got it all closed off. Maybe I'll just go down here a little bit. Yeah, so basically this pier is a parking lot for the games. Sometimes this whole thing is full of cars. I think it was full of cars last weekend because there was a game going on. Yeah, this parking lot fills up a lot, like a whole lot. I know it looks dead right now, but this is really for, you know, when we have events in the city and stuff. I'm surprised this is still a parking garage. I'm surprised they haven't like built something else here. Just zipping and cruising and chilling. So this is like a little car ramp. Oh, I'm supposed to be talking about the city, right? Okay, so let's get into that. San Francisco, San Francisco, San Francisco. Ooh, check this out. This is perfect. And the sun's behind me. This is like perfect here. I can set the camera here. Y'all still there? Yeah, I can put it like here. And then I can just be like here, right? That's cool, that works. So the city. What's been going on in SF? So let's go back to last year. Last year, around this time last year, beginning of March, things were really good. Or not really good, but things were much better than they are today. And then, you know, after the interest rates start to go up in the middle of the summer, right before the middle of the summer, things start to really tighten around. And then I'm just noticing, like, for the past month, it's been a free fall. Like, no joke. Ever since the CashApp founder, you know, that incident happened, then the Whole Foods incident come out, and then now it's like a snowball. It's like, it's a snowball effect. And, ooh-wee, I don't know what to say. Summer is approaching. I've been looking at flights this summer to go like out of town and travel and stuff. I'm blown away at how expensive these flights are this year. So it's crazy. Like last year, people were kind of afraid to travel because of COVID, but this year I don't think people are afraid to travel because of COVID. So it's like back in full swing. So I think this summer, I don't know. I think this summer, for some reason, we might have a lot of tourists, but we might have a different type of tourists this summer. Instead of you having, you know, all the people come from Europe and, you know, all the people come from Florida and all the people come from all over the country, we might have more California tourists here. And that's just, you know, I mean, that's just how it is, you know. I mean, California tourists are different, right? They're different from the European tourists. European tourists are the ones that they'll stay in Fisherman's Wharf, right? A lot of your California tourists, maybe they live somewhere like around the bay. So they just come to the city for the day and they leave. So they just spend money different, right? It's nice to have an equal balance, because when you have a lot of tourists in the city, but then you know your hotels aren't making money because people are coming to the city but they're not staying in the city, that sort of hurts. I guess restaurants benefit both ways because folks eat, you know, they got to eat either way, you know, if you're here for the day or if you're here for, you know, if you come over from Europe and you're here for a week, you know. So I've just noticed that, you know, tourism's definitely picking up. But when we talk about things like closures, like store closures, it's getting like this cycle's starting now. Like the ball has started. When you take a mall like Nordstrom's, not Nordstrom's. Nordstrom is not a mall, but Nordstrom's is a store in a mall. But when you take a mall and you have a Nordstrom's, and you also have something like Bloomingdale's, like the mall downtown. Well, those are the two anchor stores, and the two anchor stores, they pay like the most rent in the mall, right? And they have a lot of power over the mall. Well, when one anchor store leaves, it's not good. It's not good at all. When one anchor store leaves, if the mall is not able to replace that anchor store fast, you might have a situation where you have two anchor stores and one goes out and then the second one goes out, and then later on after the mall is going to go. And I've said this before. I've said that, like, I don't think things are going to get better because people aren't moving here because there's no more jobs. So I think things are not going to get better. I think things are only going to go the other way. And right here, I mean, here we have it. You know, we got more closures now. Some folks may say, oh yeah, it's just Nordstrom's. Well, they're closing two stores, pretty much in the same area, like near Fifth and Market. You know, they have that one store at Fifth and Market, and they also have one store in the mall at Fifth and Market. So they're closing those two stores, but it's the domino effect. So just because Nordstrom's announced, it might be other places saying, okay, since Nordstrom's is pulling out, we feel that we don't need to be here anymore, so we're gonna pull out too. And then it's just gonna be like a domino effect. Like that's really what's going on right now. It's kind of crazy to see, because I really like this place. I like the city, but you know, you talk to people around, and people are fed up. Like, there's a lot of people that are really fed up with what's going on. And there's not really anything happening, right? So as of now, in the city, they're doing this thing where they want to like clean up the Tenderloin, okay? Which is, in my opinion, it's the biggest joke ever, right? So they're gonna have CHP officers. Now, CHP officers are people who patrol on the freeway. So usually when you're driving on the freeway, if you get a ticket, it's gonna be probably a CHP officer. It's not gonna be like, usually it won't be like a San Francisco cop, right? Usually it's gonna be someone that works the freeway. So people that work the freeway, they work the freeway. The freeway is not the city, dude. The freeway is the freeway. Whole different ball game. So now they're gonna have CHP officers patrolling the Tenderloin. And what is that gonna do? I can tell you what it's gonna do. It might make some tourists feel a little bit safer. That's what it might do. When some tourists see, oh yeah, there's a lot of police presence around, that might make tourists feel safer. This is something, I'm not joking here, I'm being real, I'm being 100. But what it's actually gonna do is not really much of nothing. Because CHP officers, it's not like they're gonna get out of their car and go chase drug dealers in the TL. They're not gonna do that. I mean, San Francisco cops don't do that. So why would the CHP cops do that? I mean, and I'm pretty sure a lot of these CHP cops are like, oh crap, I have to go drive through the TL. They're probably bummed about it. They're probably like, dude, that's like the worst, man, that's one of the worst spots in all of California. And now you gotta go drive through that. Yeah, that doesn't seem like it's, that doesn't seem like it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then once again, if people don't get arrested for dealing, it's not gonna stop. If you don't clean up the streets and get people off the streets and get them a place to go, it's not gonna stop. So, this whole we're gonna patrol the TL more, we're gonna clean it up. They've been saying this for years, dude. No one believes them anymore. That's just how it is. No one believes it anymore. I don't believe it anymore. They said they're gonna have the National Guard. Now, if the Tenderloin is having a national emergency, right? If they're having a crisis there, you would think that they would actually call in the National Guard. And when you call in the National Guard, what happens? People in uniforms show up. People in these big trucks show up. National Guard is called in when things happen like Hurricane Katrina, okay? That's when they call National Guard in. When there's a big earthquake, they'll call National Guard in because to stop the looting, right? That's a crisis. Whenever there's, sometimes there's tornadoes and stuff in certain areas, they may call in the National Guard because that is a crisis. More people in the Tenderloin has died from fentanyl than COVID. So we should literally call this a crisis, right? And a crisis means that you bring in help to fix the freaking problem. You don't just, send in CHP officers, which is basically like you playing with a yo-yo. Yo-yo! Yo-yo! No, you don't do that. You send help to clean up. But they're not doing that because that's not what they want to do. That's not what they want to do. I've heard some pretty insane things about how to clean up the city. I've heard, probably the most insane thing I heard of is, people, basically the government coming in with trucks, loading people up and taking them away. That's the most crazy thing I heard of, but I will say that this will never happen in San Francisco. I don't think this will ever happen, that they're gonna take people off the streets against their will. I mean, they haven't done it up until now. What makes you think they're gonna do it in the future? But that's one crazy thing I've definitely have heard. But then I've also heard this theory too, is what would actually happen to the city if you actually cleaned it up? It's already this expensive today, and there's crap on the streets, right? There's tents on the streets everywhere. In certain neighborhoods. It's definitely not tents on the streets all over the city. Well, I'm mainly speaking of downtown and, parts of, along public transportation. Let's just put it like that. But just imagine if they actually clean the city up. It's already this expensive today. How much more expensive could it possibly get if there was no one sleeping on the streets? I mean, that's actually kind of scary to think about. You know, I mean, it could very well like double in value like right now if it was like actually clean and it was, you know, if the crime was much lower. I mean, this place would literally be an American paradise. I mean, excluding, you know, how cold and windy it is sometimes. But the city. Other things I've noticed is it's just more and more like a ghost town. I just still want to check the camera and make sure it's on because yeah, we're still going. City it still feels like a ghost town now. On the weekends, it's busy. In the tourist areas on the weekends, in the tourist areas during the week, if it's a nice day, it's busy. You're not gonna notice it. You know, especially if you do anything that's super touristy, Union Square or the Golden Gate Bridge, or you know, some of the events that happen on the weekends in the city. It might be a race, it might be concerts. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on for the weekends. But during the week, it's kind of quiet. I still go out quite frequently. I go out to some of the bars, and some nights I go out, I'm blown away how it's just so quiet. Like there's not a lot of people out. I was going out a lot in December because I did this whole 30-day no marijuana challenge. So I was going out partying a lot in December. And I remember going out in December, it was a lot of people going out partying. But now, I mean, I go out to some of the bars and I'm like, wow, man, I think I'm ready to go. Like, there's nobody here. And then I go get on the train and there's like no one on the train. I'm like, wow, dude, I just rode like 2 stops and there's like no one on the train. Like, that's weird. Like, where are the people, you know? And it's not like it's winter time because December, it was kind of cold. Like now it's like March, you know? Another thing that's been very unexpected is how much rain we've received this year. We have received so much rain. I've lived here for years. I've never seen so much rain in one year before. Just in the past, since November, we've had so many rain days. It was raining this morning, and there's also rain in the forecast like Monday or so. And I've been saying this for the past 2 months. I think it's just gonna rain the whole year. Because if it's raining, it's March. It's not March. It's May now, and it's still raining. I think it's just gonna continue to rain. That is making the city like kind of depressing. Because some days I wake up and I'm like, it's raining. I can't like skateboard. I can't ride my bike. I can't just go out and just chill like normal. I gotta like have wet feet and have to carry an umbrella and stuff like that. But yeah, the city, I still like it. I still love it. I'm starting to pivot because I see what's going on. I see that it's not slowing down. Right now, the past month, things have really sped up. Let me give y'all an example of how things have happened in the past month, right? So when we had COVID, things were here. And then when we did the lockdown, we saw a big drop. And then things kind of stopped, kind of flattened out here. And things were sort of on the downslope. And then last month, we saw another big drop. And that big drop is still going on right now. Because there's just so much negative news coming out. It's just so, like, more job loss. You know, more people moving out, home values going down, interest rates going up, lots of rain. I mean, it's just like, it's non-stop, back-to-back negativity. And that's just how it has been. And maybe this summer will be a lot better. But right now we just kind of skip spring because it's been like cold and rainy the whole spring. And as life is ever, just I still love it. I still like living here. Like I said, I do want to pivot. Work is changing in the city. I tell a lot of people I know that you know, do the apps and do gig work. I've been warning people that gig work is changing. I'm not saying that gig work is going away, but gig work is vastly changing. And if you are someone that you're doing gig work, I'm just gonna give y'all another warning. Things are just gonna get just a little bit tighter, you know, or this is just what I think. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna go away, but I think things are gonna get a little bit tighter because as more people like find themselves unemployed, there's gonna be more people doing gig work. And y'all know how gig work is. The more people like on the Uber app, the less orders you're gonna get, meaning that you're not gonna make money. So yeah, I would say if you can, look for a job. It was a job fair going on not too long ago, and I went down and kind of checked it out. I didn't really find any jobs down there. Well, there's a couple of jobs I found that were kind of interesting. I'm not gonna say it because I might want to, you know, do one of those jobs in the future, and I don't want to put it out there. But I was trying to tell some of the delivery people I know that, yo, things are getting worse, and there's a job fair going on down there. You might find something you wanna do, and like people are just laughing at me like, I don't want to do that. I just want to do deliveries. And it's like, bro, do y'all see what's going on? Like, we got buildings around here, $300 million building a couple years ago, and now it's like $80 million. Like, y'all think delivery's coming back? Like, there's nobody coming to work anymore. The work from home thing is like, it's just work now. It's not go to work anymore. It's like, I just work at home. Like, that's the new reality. And I've been warning people, and things are gonna get tighter, I think, because unless they like drastically drop the interest rates. If they like woke up tomorrow and just dropped the interest rates to zero, we might actually see some things change, you know. You might see some people open businesses. But for now, I don't hear about any new businesses open up around here. They're talking about this IKEA, and they're talking about how IKEA is gonna open downtown. Let me see, where am I? Oh, I'm at 22 minutes. So they're talking about this new IKEA location is gonna open downtown. And I just wanna talk about this for a minute because this sounds so wild if you think about it. IKEA has been planning to open this store in the middle of, like basically in the middle of the TL, okay? It's not really in the middle of the TL, but it's very close to like 6th and Market and 7th and Market. Like, it's in that area. It's not like the best area, but it's an okay area. It's kind of a thriving area, right? I want to plug this up so I can get my phone, my camera charged. I don't want it to die. All right, is that working? Cool. All right, so with this whole IKEA that's moving in on Market Street, like it's kind of insane because they've been talking about this for like a year now. Now, why y'all think they've been still talking about it, but they haven't moved in yet? This is just my guess. They're probably scratching their feet, and they're probably trying to stretch it out, right? They're probably trying to stretch it out and not move in, okay? So right now, you just recently had Whole Foods say, oh, we're closing our flagship store in the city. Now, since Whole Foods is closing their flagship store in the city, that don't sound good. Right down the street from where IKEA is supposed to open. So now you have, in the other direction, you have the 2 Nordstrom stores and the 5th off Saks store. They all announced that they're gonna close. So you still think IKEA is gonna move in? So what is gonna be down there? It's just gonna be just IKEA. Like, everything else is like slowly like closing, right? Now you gotta ask yourself this question. With all these other stores closing downtown, what's gonna be the reason to drive to go to this IKEA, right? Now, if if coming to the city and let's say you want to go shopping at, Union Square, right? So you might go shopping at Union Square. But as they keep closing stores in Union Square, well, you might say, well, I don't know if I want to go to the city. Maybe we should go to like Walnut Creek, right? But then if more and more places keep closing, why would you even want to go to this IKEA, especially in that part of town, right? Because where they want to open the IKEA, it's not that different from where they closed the Whole Foods at. So my guess is they're not going to open the IKEA. They're going to keep stretching it out. Oh, opening soon, opening in the future, opening soon. And then they'll eventually announce, oh, we're just not going to open it. That's my guess. because I don't really see, I mean, if people didn't go to that Whole Foods because that Whole Foods was too rough, I don't really see people going to IKEA in that part of town, especially with everything, with all the other stuff closing. I just don't really see that too much. I mean, maybe they got plans maybe they got other plans in store, but they also said they had other plans in store for the financial district, and we kind of see how that's going. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's kind of dead. But I don't know, I guess we just have to see about that one, because I just can't see IKEA moving in right now. Like, for what reason? You know? And they said they're gonna have a lot of security. Well, how much is all that security gonna cost, right? Because security ain't cheap. You know, your associates, yeah, you pay them one price, but then you have security guards, you gotta pay them a different price. And especially if they're armed, you gotta pay them even more, bro. It might be $50, $60, $70 an hour. And how many guards you gonna have there? You know? And then the crazy thing about security guards, bro. So I don't know if y'all know, like just recently at 4th and Market, someone was killed. I don't really, like, I kind of don't want to really talk about it, because the media kind of, they kind of put a twist on it. At first they was like, oh yeah, it was a girl that got killed, and then they came out and said, oh yeah, it was a trans person that got killed. And then, I don't know, you later see these news clips of people are saying, like, why do security guards even have guns? Like, they shouldn't have guns, right? And you know, that's something I kind of haven't really thought about, right? Like, why do they have guns if they can't like stop you, if they can't like physically touch you? Like, why do they even have a gun, right? So it wouldn't surprise me if more Walgreens stores start to close, because they're gonna probably feel pressure from, you know, I don't want to say who, but they might feel pressure that their security guards should not have guns. And it's like, well, if the security guards don't have guns, that just means that it's kind of a free-for-all, right? You just go in there and do whatever you want, because, I mean, they ain't got a gun, and if they touch you, you can sue them. It just sounds like a recipe for a disaster, right? But I could see how in the future, possibly a place like San Francisco may even ban security guards from having guns. This sounds really crazy if you think about it, but think about San Francisco, a lot of crazy things happen. We could very well see security guards, you know, not have guns, and then if they don't have guns, well, it's like, well, that goes that store that they're protecting. Right? Kind of insane. Really, really sad story. I mean, it is sad that you know, this person lost their life. It's really sad. I don't really know what happened. Like, obviously there was some sort of fight or some sort of verbal altercation. I mean, I don't know exactly what type of altercation it was, but it's just really sad to hear that someone like got killed over, you know, that whole situation at, you know, Walgreens. And I was thinking, I wonder, like, are they gonna close the store? But I guess they didn't close the store. The store is still open. It was closed for a couple days. They did this massive protest out in front of the Walgreens, and when they did the protest, they're starting the construction on these BART, the thing that you go down to BART. They're making it more modernized, right? So they had this fence up because they had to do the work on the sidewalk. So to go in front of the Walgreens, you have to go down this little narrow path, and the protesters all had it blocked off. So all the people had to walk out into the street. And I was like, oh, this is... BART should take that freaking fence down, you know? You got all the freaking people walking out into the street, and they're having a protest because someone did get killed here just a couple of days ago, and it's like... It's just sad, man. It's sad. It's just, this city is just death everywhere. You know, everywhere, dude. Folks dropping like flies. You know, we had that cyclist in Presidio. You know, he got killed, like, on his bike, you know? He's like a pro cyclist. It's just, I don't know, man. I love living here, but it's challenging, dude. I still get pressure from, you know, still get like pressure from family to move back home. And you know, it's like when I talk to a family member and I haven't talked to you in a couple months, and I talk to you and I just be real with you, and you blow up and you yell at me, you scream at me, you lie to me, you tell me that, oh, I call you all the time, and I say, look, I got an iPhone and I have a call log history and I do not see you ever call me, you know? And you constantly lie to me and you constantly say these things to me. And then you tell me I should move back home. You know what I'm probably gonna do? I'm probably not gonna move back home. You know, because it's kind of crazy when you don't talk to someone for a long time and then all of a sudden like you get into a huge fight with them. It's like, no, that doesn't make me want to go back home. It makes me want to stay away from home, especially Memphis, bro. And how many people, they leave Memphis, they go away, live an awesome life, and then come back and get killed in their own city. It's just, woo! I'm good. Maybe I'll stay here in California, yo. Like so many rappers, dude. So many people, bro. They've moved away and they go back. Like, bro, sometimes you got real big haters right back at home because you go away and you do something different, and then maybe they don't do something different. Maybe they just do the same thing, you know? But that's okay. Like, everybody don't have to do anything different. Life is what you make it to be. Yes. So anyway, I think I'm gonna get off here. It's been fun chatting with y'all. I love doing these in real life videos. You know, videos where I don't edit. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this one up. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. If I ramble too much, let me know. Also, if you like this video, let me know. If you watch to the end, let me know. If you watch to the end, put 28 in the comments. And yeah, let me know what you have to say about the city. I'm just curious. I'm out. Bye-bye.